When the narcissist realizes they lost, this is what happens. Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Your unwavering support is deeply appreciated, and today's discussion delves into a rather captivating subject. That moment when a narcissist comes to the realization that they've lost everything. Allow this thought to resonate for a brief moment, and if it sparks something within you, please extend your support through likes, subscriptions, and shares. Check out my complimentary course titled Narcissism 101, Early Warning Signs, Escaping the Trap, and Rebuilding Your Life. If you're interested, find the link in the description for the details. Now, in the pursuit of shedding new light on this age-old conundrum, I ventured down various avenues, creating content that revolves around this core idea, albeit with subtle shifts in focus. A few of you insightful souls have reached out, seeking a renewed perspective on this topic. And so, here we are, exploring the profound impact of a narcissist's realization of their loss. It's essential to recognize that the aftermath of a narcissistic relationship has far-reaching implications. First and foremost, the narcissist, once oblivious to their inadequacies, will suddenly grasp that they've lost the most remarkable gem in their life, you. Of course, your presence here is tremendously valued. Yet, this realization extends beyond the confines of a single fractured relationship. It encompasses the entirety of their relational world, which they've unwittingly shattered. But, let's be frank, when we speak of narcissism, the loss inevitably extends beyond a single person, and the narcissist's insidious influence leaves every relationship in tatters. The narcissist thrives on deception and manipulation, amassing a web of destructive affairs and leaving behind a trail of devastation. You might not have known this when you entered the relationship, but as you watch this, you begin to understand. Now, when the narcissist comes to realize their loss, they will inevitably look back and lament their previous actions. They aren't gods, but merely human beings, plagued with the same flaws that affect us all. They will look back at the carnage they've wrought and lament the missed opportunities, the shattered relationships, and the destroyed lives. They will realize that their lifestyle of manipulation and deceit only leads to a life of isolation and emptiness. But for you, the trauma of such a relationship is often so severe that healing takes time. It's a monumental task, and the road to recovery is long and arduous. You'll need to engage in the laborious work of processing the hurt, and it will undoubtedly be painful. Yet, with time and the right mindset, you will begin to heal and take back the control that the narcissist once stole from you. As you progress along the route to recovery, you'll confront a crucial question. Should you forgive the narcissist for the damage they've inflicted on your life? Is it even possible to forgive and carry on with your own life? However, before you can even consider those questions, there is a mountain of work to do. You'll need to break the trauma bond, lose friendships, and perhaps even relocate for a fresh start. Let's be clear, forgiving a narcissist is out of the question. These parasitic beings deliberately lure you down their rabbit hole of destruction, wrought with pain and turmoil, without giving you any warning. If they had presented you with a 2-page document outlining their true intentions, would you have entered the relationship? Of course not. That's because they thrive on playing smoke and mirror games, drawing you in with deception and manipulation, leaving behind a trail of broken hearts and destroyed lives. These beings are fully aware of the harm they cause. Their modus operandi consists of jumping around from person to person and group to group, leaving destruction in their wake. But eventually, they'll look back and realize what they've lost, a realization that fills us with titillation. At the end of the relationship, you might not have seen this as a positive thing, because you were caught in the trauma bond's destructive clutches, hoping the narcissist would provide closure and redeem themselves. But that's not how it works. They don't care about your well-being. When the relationship ends, they selectively dispose of you, waiting for a pivotal moment in your life to strike. During these times, when you're at your most vulnerable, they discard you like yesterday's trash, preying on your crumbled soul. It's a sickening practice, but it's how they operate. They're always on the lookout for their next victim, someone to suck resources from. But, believe me, one day, they'll look back and reminisce about the good things in their life, including you. But it's all a ruse. They merely want to preserve their precious resources. That's what they see you as, a valuable commodity in their never-ending quest to fuel their insatiable egos. So, if you're currently undergoing a divorce, your narcissistic partner will undoubtedly make the process as painful and drawn out as possible. Why? Because they know how excellent you are, your value, your light, your love, and empathy. They see you as the perfect source to feed their insatiable needs, and they'll do anything to try to keep you. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not here to trigger or upset you. I'm simply telling you that gaining an understanding of narcissism will lead you down a path of realization that the narcissist is highly capable of consuming you. They've already sapped your energy and stolen decades from your life, and you know it now. But don't forget, the narcissist is acutely aware of what they're missing when the divorce or breakup with you is inevitable. They know precisely what they'd lost by being discarded by you. But before and after you, they had other sources of supply, using them to compare you against, always assessing what they were missing out on. While we're all unique, what you provided to the narcissist was special, rare, and irreplaceable. You were the light that kept them going, and you never wanted to give up on the relationship. It's why you worked so hard for it. In marriage, you believed in your vows, but the narcissist only saw it as a license to initiate their abuse. They never saw love, kindness, or stability in your relationship. You were just a tool to satisfy their cruel needs. However, once the relationship ends, the narcissist will look back and hoover you. Have you ever thought about what that means exactly? Well, let me tell you, they do it when they don't have a legitimate source of supply, or perhaps they do, and they want more of what you provided for them. Your constant presence, abundance, and emotional support helped pump up their fragile ego. They know you made them feel good about themselves, helped them financially, and listened to them without judgment. So, understand this. When they hoover you, it's merely an attempt to lure you back into their vicious cycle. They want another round of punishment, and they'll do whatever it takes to get you back into the system. Sorry, it's just how they work. Here's the million-dollar question. Will the narcissist ever look back and acknowledge what they lost? Yes, they will. Let's be honest. Do they have the guts to admit their wrongdoing? Hell no. In their eyes, they're much more superior to you. Do they have the capacity to reflect on their actions and take accountability for the damage they inflicted on you? Absolutely not. They're not wired that way. Think of all the times the narcissist sincerely apologized to you for the pain they caused. How many tears did they shed that didn't belong to that crocodile on their shirt? How many times did they promise to change and desperately try to convince you to salvage the relationship? Oh, and let's not forget the word salad they served you in place of meaningful conversations. Throughout the relationship, you gave everything. Your time, energy, and effort, while the narcissist consumed it, never once stopping to appreciate your worth. If only you could see how many times they took you for granted, you'd be astonished. For instance, in the beginning, everything was done at the speed of light because they needed to ensnare you in their intricate web of manipulation. But as time went by, their response rate dramatically decreased to the point where you were left scratching your head. What could you attribute the sudden change to? Their boredom? Their quest for another source of supply? Who knows? The truth is, you should never doubt your instincts. If a relationship feels too good to be true, the odds are that it definitely is. Okay, so here's how it went down. Once the narcissist had you locked down, they started playing games with you that they knew you'd fall for. They groomed you, trained you, and knew that you'd jump at the opportunity to chat with them. And honestly, why wouldn't you? You were waiting by the phone, hoping they'd text you back. But as time went on, their texts became less and less substantial, and the only response you get from them was, "Okay, got it, thanks." A one-word response that wasn't even properly spelled. It's like they didn't even care about you. But the thing is, they were texting plenty of other people, like it was no big deal. You know, typing paragraphs and having meaningful conversations with them, while you were left scratching your head in confusion. You'd be sitting there wondering, why am I only worth one-word answers and not even spelled properly, while someone else is getting a monologue? And you know why? Because they're your replacement. They're the new supply that the narcissist needs to reel in just the way they did with you. It's a cycle, a pattern that seems to go on and on until you remove yourself from the situation or the narcissist finally discards you. But when the narcissist realizes they'd lost the best thing that happened to them, which is you, they'll start to understand the gravity of their actions. They'll realize that the relationships they destroyed with their kids, business partners, and friends are a result of their toxic behavior. People are starting to catch on to their games and won't invite them to events anymore. And don't think the narcissist can keep their mask on forever. They can't keep playing act forever. Eventually, they'll slip up, and people will start to see past their facade. They'll blow up relationships they were a part of, either today or in the future. Oh, and let's not forget the long-term friends that people like to bring up when talking about narcissists. Sure, they may have had a friend for 20 years or something, but it doesn't mean they're good friends. They're probably just a way for the narcissist to maintain appearances or use them as a tool for their own gain. All right, hold up. You want to know why some people don't realize they're dealing with a narcissist? Well, there could be two reasons for that. Firstly, maybe they do realize it, but they don't want to end up being the next victim, so they keep their mouths shut. Or secondly, they don't see the narcissist that often, hence they never get to witness the real them. That's right. The more time you spend with a narcissist, the more likely you are to see their mask slip. It's that simple. But the thing is, most of the abuse happens behind closed doors. When you're alone with a narcissist in a car or at home, that's when hell breaks loose. The public setting is different because they're managing appearances, trying to show the world what a great person they are. Meanwhile, you're the one taking all the hits, emotionally, spiritually, financially, the list goes on and on. They see you as nothing but a punching bag for their abuse. Now listen up. The narcissist will realize they lost. Trust me. They just won't tell you that because they believe they're superior to everyone else. But here's the thing, they knew exactly what they had in you. That's why they got into the relationship with you in the first place. They used you, discarded you, and left you on the side of the road. But guess what? You were built up stronger than ever before. You rose like a phoenix through the ashes and came out on the other side, the best version of yourself. And now it's game over for the narcissist. You're living your best life, and they're out there blowing up other relationships, unsuspecting individuals. But the narcissist will realize that they lost. Because let's face it, they did lose. You've got this, right? So, stay strong, stay true to yourself, and believe in yourself. You're not alone. So, until next time, Let the healing begin.